The Jubilee Sov'reign Marriott Edgar. On Jubilee Day the Ramsbottoms invited relations to tea, including young Albert's grandmother. An awkward old party, was she? She'd seen Queen Victoria's accession and heir wedding to Albert the Good, but she got quite upset when young Albert asked how she'd got on in the flood. She cast quite a damper on tea party, but she warmed up a bit after tea, and gave Albert a real golden sovereign she'd been saving since last Jubilee. It a picture of Queen on tea one side and a dragon fight on the reverse, and it smelled of camphor and cobwebs through being so long in her purse. Albert ended the coin, and tea kissed it, and tea felt the rough edge with his tongue. For tea knew by the look of his father that it wouldn't be very long. Quo. I'll show you a trick with that sovereign, quo, said Pa, over in near, and tea took and pretended to eat it, then brought it back out of his ear. This magic filled Albert with wonder, and before you could say and quo, Uncle Dick and quo, he'd got the coin back from his father and performed the first part of the trick. When they all saw where the money had gone with excitement, the relatives burned, and each one suggested some process for getting the money returned. Some were for fishing with tweezers, while some were for shaking it out. Quo. If we only got back a few shillings, quo, they said, and quo, 'twould be better than note. Quo. They tried holding Albert head downward and giving his shoulders a clump, till his uncle, who worked for a chemist, said, and quo, there's note for it but stomach pump. Quo. Well, they hadn't tea a stomach pump Andy, but Pa did the best that tea could with a bicycle pump that they borrowed, but that weren't nearly so good. So off they went to the doctor, who looked down his throat with a glass. Tea said, and quo, this'll mean operation. I fear that he'll have to have gas. Quo. Quo. Oh, much is this going to cost me? Quo, said father, beginning to squirm. Quo. I'm afraid that it comes out expensive. The best gas is 8p a therm. There's my time, 6 shillings an hour. You can't do these things in 2 ticks. By rights I should charge you a guinea, but I'll do it for 18 and 6. Quo. Quo. What, 18 and 6 to get sovereign? Quo, said father. Quo. That doesn't sound sense, I'll tell you. You'd best keep young Albert and give us the odd 18p. Quo. The doctor concurred this arrangement, but to this day he stands in some doubt as to whether he's in 18 shillings or whether he's 18p out.